I'm Tom Dodson, and I'm working on a project called Yana. It's a mobile project about moving journals into the mobile space. We noticed that a lot of open access journals, that is, journals that give away their content for free and don't require a subscription, a lot of open access journals don't have the resources to create a mobile application for their journals. And we wanted them to be able to do that with open source software, so they could add functionality, kind of have a template where they didn't have to be programmers. Publishers can just go in and configure a signal file and have a mobile application for their journal. Those kinds of applications are available for folks who are teamed up with commercial publishers, but they're not as available or they're too costly for open access journals often. And I actually have an open access literary journal, and part of what I realized was that it would be cost prohibitive for me to find a developer and pay them to build a mobile app for my journal. And I thought, well, I doubt I'm the only one in this situation, and I bet a lot of open access academic journals would also be in that position. And so we asked a bunch of folks in the open access publishing community, and they told us, yes, that's the case. We'd love to be in the mobile space, but we can't afford to pay a developer to do it. So we built a platform that where something like 80% maybe of the development work is already done, and it's in languages that if you're an open access publisher and you have someone who does your website, they probably already know enough HTML and CSS to configure the framework that we've put together to create a mobile application. They don't have to learn the kind of arcane arts of the languages used to script for specific devices like the Android phone or the Apple devices. It matters for libraries because we're moving from a paradigm of collections being about ownership to collections being about access. So a publisher would be the person that we would expect to be interested in it. They would go to our website, download the Yana platform, which would basically be a set of HTML files and folders and things like that. Basically provides you with a menu with different sections. You have your handheld device and you're like, I want to go to the current issue, I want to go of this journal, I want to go to the archive of this journal, I want to look at the information for authors, that sort of thing. There's a single configuration file for all the sections in basically plain language. You would say, well, this is what the section should be called. In this case, let's say current issue. This is the icon I want to use. We provide a set of icons, but you could replace them with whatever you want. It's whatever's appropriate to your journal, its look and feel. And then this is where the content lives. And effectively, you're done. With that menu item, it's done. When next time you click current issue, it'll go to the current issue of your journal because it's going to go to that URL. The thing that I think is nice about that is that's what's called a web app, right? Like it's a website that is optimized for reading on mobile devices. But what a lot of journals want to do is take the next step and have a native app, which is to say an application that is stored on the device. So the user doesn't have to open a browser on their device to get to the application. And we use a technology called PhoneGap, which then allows the user to, from this web app, essentially press a button and it compiles it into a native application, which you can then distribute. Let's say as a native application for Apple devices, you can now distribute that in the Apple Store, and it can now live on the person's device. They don't have to open a browser and go to your URL to access the mobile web content.